The King of Staten Island is directed by Judd Apatow, and this film is now streaming on VOD to rent. Now, The King of Staten Island stars Pete Davidson as Scott, and Scott is a guy who isn't really doing much with his life. He lives at home with his mum, and unlike his sister who's going off to college, he's not doing a lot. And the film is really about how he deals with the death of his father and how he tries to get his life in order. Now, I'm a big fan of Judd Apatow. I love Knocked Up. It's one of my all-time favourite comedies. This is 40 was too long, but I enjoyed it. And The 40-Year-Old Virgin, I mean, it's great. It's a classic. So going into The King of Staten Island, I was really excited. I'll say this about the film. It's less of a comedy than you might think. It's definitely part comedy. It is hilarious. But this film is a lot more of a drama than I expected. This is easily, from the Judd Apatow films I've seen, this is easily the most mature of his films. Pete Davidson's performance, I know he's a comedian, but I did not expect how well he would carry the emotional heft of the film. The whole film lies on his shoulders. If he can't carry the film, then the whole film fails, no matter how good the writing or the structure of it is. But Pete Davidson handles it so well. The supporting cast is also fantastic. Marisa Tomei as his mum is fantastic, and Bill Burr, who's also another comedian. He has to show off a lot of his dramatic chops, and again, he is great. Judd Apatow balances the comedy and drama really well because there's a lot of tonal shifts between those two. It is more of a drama than a lot of Judd Apatow's other films. And I thought it was really well handled. The transitions from drama into comedy and vice versa were really well handled, and they were really smooth. Now, The King of Staten Island runs at nearly 2 hours and 20 minutes. Most of Judd Apatow's films run at around 2 hours. Some of them can be overlong, like I said, this is 40. The King of Staten Island, I didn't feel it was too long because I was so invested in the characters. I wasn't really thinking about the runtime. I mean, it can drag a bit. That is an issue with the film. It can drag at times, but it doesn't feel overlong per se. One other issue I do have with the film is that some jokes can feel a bit too over the top. Because The King of Staten Island is realistic and grounded most of the time, the over the top jokes can feel unnecessary. But overall, I had a great time watching this film. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a scene where I teared up. This is a really good Judd Apatow film. This is my favourite film of the weekend because we have 3 big releases this weekend. We had The King of Staten Island, The Five Bloods, and Artemis Fowl. This is my favourite film of the weekend. This is a really good film. I really do think it's worth checking out, and I can't wait to see what Pete Davidson does next as an actor. I'm going to give The King of Staten Island an A-. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Blu-ray Billy, logging off.